Blake Production.
What is happening? We're gonna do a little breakdown real quick on a few stonks. We got Bmbl here. We had a nice run in Bmbl. I like that. It went from 44 to 60, but it looks like we're double topping here in the $60 range. But we were playing around with all these trend lines here. I'm gonna delete all those out of the way and make things a little simple. So right now, what I'm seeing is we are stuck in this range. We need to break up over that. I do like how we're making higher lows. So hopefully we got that big volume coming in on this day. I'm going to mark off that day because massive volume. And we got 6105 from 5258 to 6105 that day with massive volume coming in. So you would like to see it play in this range for a bit, but it might not fall through. We would look for this area to be support, like around this range. Now we got Cbdt. I went over this one the other day. I like it. It looks pretty good. I want to see it get up over this trend line though, because this is clearly holding us back, and we got that reaction to it today. It was looking great at $52.52, and then we got that push back down. So it reacted perfectly to this trend line. I'm expecting it to stay above this 8 EMA. That's what I want to see. Stay above the 8, you know, build up some sort of sideways consolidation, and then break up over. But it looks good. This one would have been nice to buy in off the lows. 36% trade, not bad at all. So Lcid, I want to see it hold 16, maybe come back and double bottom. I don't know, man. I don't like this chart at all, to be honest with you. We're having trouble with $30. So this is what I see here. Like this range is having some trouble. I mean, you want this area to be demand, but it's showing some serious weakness right now, right? You want this area to be demand. We got up below it. I think if this area could act as demand, build a base, then I'd look for a potential, you know, area to, because we could get a trade here. That's not a bad trade at all. So that's what I'd be looking for in Lcid. That's the perspective I see it in. I'd wait for an opportunity for it to base around this area, for it, the potential for it to go back up to like $30. Mmed, see, I want to play it like this again, but I feel like I'm so reliant on some sort of news event or some sort of bullish, you know, is the psychedelic sector going to just start running because they started trials? Like I want some sort of really good news, you know. Otherwise, just from a technical perspective, I see it coming back to this, like maybe fill this gap. So the top of this day, 277, right? If we go to the top of this day, 277, 278, if we could maybe base on that level there, that would look pretty good. But otherwise, I think we could potentially come back to this demand zone. And if so, it might not be a guarantee that it's a buy, because I feel like the psychedelic sector needs that news that like, hey, we're progressing fast or something like that. Otherwise, it's could be a long while. So Crsr, low key, I'm starting to like the look of Crsr, right? From a weekly perspective, it looks pretty interesting. We're up over the 8 EMA on the weekly, right? We've been over it for like over 2 weeks here. I like that. I want to see that big push, right? It looks like this is a clear level that we're struggling in, right? 29.82. For some reason, we just can't get over that level. So I'm thinking if we could get that big bull day push up over it, that's a good sign that we could come back up into this range, the 33 range. So there's a potential trade in here, right? We got a nice few play options. 10% trade could turn into something a lot bigger, right? And if using options. So that's what I kind of like looking at when I see Crsr. Now Airbnb, right? This one finally broke up over it, back tested, and look, it started to run. So that's exactly what we expected from watching this one for a while now. Now we had that massive gap down day. It flushed all the way down and then got bought back up. If we look at the 1 hour perspective, right? Flushed down and it got bought back up. Looks pretty good, and it reminds me of snow. So this was another one, right? We had the gap down, flushed, came back up, and then look what happened after that. It just started running. So when I look at Airbnb, it reminds me of that exact pattern. So we come down, we flush out, and now we slowly grind back up. That makes sense. I would like to see that. We got it's literally the exact same pattern. We got this upper trend line here that could be used like this. All right, we want to see that upper trend line. It's very interesting. But Airbnb looks interesting, and from like a weekly perspective, the double bottom on triple bottom potential on the weekly is what I really like. And I also like this hammer that's printing. Very interesting. Airbnb in the coming weeks could be like, who knows, by the end of the year, if it's at like 200, I wouldn't be very surprised. But yeah, that's what we got for the breakdown this week. Peace.